Zelina Vega reacts to Aleister Black's AEW debut. Drew McIntyre recalls the time when a former WWE Champion knocked him out. And former WWE star Killian Dain on why AEW TNT Champion Miro is an ideal opponent for him. Hello everyone, Jose G here bringing you today's top stories in today's Sportskeeda Wrestling News Roundup. To stay up to date with all of our content, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Zelina Vega reacts to Aleister Black's AEW debut. Zelina Vega has posted her reaction to Aleister Black's AEW debut on her official Twitter handle. Aleister Black is all elite as the former WWE superstar made his big debut in the promotion on the newest episode of AEW Dynamite. The debut was teased during the early moments of the show when the lights went out in the midst of the Cody Rhodes vs. QT Marshall bout. Later in the night, the lights went out again during a segment featuring Rhodes and Arn Anderson. Aleister Black appeared in the ring when the lights came back on, and he attacked both Cody and Anderson. The former Aleister Black now goes by the moniker of Malachi Black, a name that he introduced in an Instagram video that he posted a short while ago. Zelina Vega, Aleister Black's wife and current WWE superstar, posted a heartfelt reaction to Black's All Elite Wrestling debut via her Twitter account. Aleister Black was let go by WWE last month, and this move came as a huge shocker to the WWE Universe. He had recently kicked off a feud with Big E on SmackDown, and fans were excited to see more of his new persona. Zelina Vega had already been released by WWE last year for breach of contract, but she recently made her exciting return to WWE TV on SmackDown. Vega was introduced as a participant in the upcoming Women's Money in the Bank ladder match at the namesakes event. Zelina Vega and Aleister Black have both started fresh, and here's hoping that the two are used to the fullest potential in their respective promotions. Drew McIntyre recalls the time when a former WWE Champion knocked him out. Appearing on WWE's The Bump, former WWE Champion Drew McIntyre recalled his past experiences with the Money in the Bank ladder match. His first Money in the Bank ladder match was at his first WrestleMania in front of 80,000 fans. Drew was the Intercontinental Champion at the time, and he stated it was a monumental occasion, but he counted on the adrenaline to get him through. The Scottish psychopath recalled two particular instances from the match, once when Shelton Benjamin threw a ladder at him, and the other at the end when he was pushed off the ladder by Matt Hardy, saying, quote, "Shelton Benjamin picked up a ladder and he locked eyes with me. He threw the ladder at me and I lifted my forearms to protect myself as quickly as I could, and it hit my forearms. That was the most unbelievable pain I felt in my life. My arms were black and blue for weeks, but towards the end of the match, I was going to take my big bump in the finish. Matt Hardy was pushing over the ladder. I was at the top of the ladder and I imagined myself riding the ladder gracefully like Shawn or Razor and landing on the top rope like a big gazelle. I stepped off the ladder, and instead of a graceful fall, I violently plummeted crotch first on the top rope. I bounced back up and created about 55 different swear words that night." End quote. Drew McIntyre then recalled his second ladder match when he was knocked out unconscious by Kofi Kingston, saying, quote, "My next Money in the Bank match, Kofi jumped off the ladder doing his boom drop through a table and knocked me unconscious. And I remember waking up and literally thinking, why are there so many people in my bedroom? No, wait, I'm in a ladder match right now. Oh, wait, I'm in the Money in the Bank right now." End quote. Drew McIntyre was unable to beat Lashley for the WWE title at Hell in a Cell last month and won't be allowed to challenge for the title again as per the stipulation of the match. Drew then lost his Money in the Bank qualifying match to Matt Riddle. He later won a last chance triple threat match to make his way into the ladder match. Bayley breaks character and reveals she got emotional about recent WWE releases. Bayley is one of WWE's top stars in the women's division, and in a rare break from her role model persona, she has revealed that the multiple sets of WWE talent releases have emotionally affected her. Speaking to Metro UK, Bayley was asked about the recent releases and how much there has been this year, and she gave a very candid answer about how she felt, saying, quote, "For me, the past have been few really hard because most of them are really good friends and so talented. And I'm just like, what? It's really hard not to see certain ones in our locker room and share traveling the road together, end quote. Bayley went on to add a touching message on top of that previous statement, stating that she knows that all the superstars have been released will be successful somewhere else. Several rounds of talent releases have taken place this year, with several major names like Braun Strowman, Buddy Murphy, Aleister Black, Tyler Breeze, Ruby Riott, and Lana among the names let go. Bayley has been involved in a feud with current SmackDown Women's Champion Bianca Belair that will continue at least the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, where the two will face off in an I Quit match. The I Quit match is probably going to end the feud, with everyone assuming Sasha Banks will return to face off with Bianca Belair to continue their WrestleMania magic. Cesaro comments on his undefeated streak in WWE. Prior to facing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania Backlash, Cesaro racked up quite a few wins. Leading up to his bout against the Tribal Chief, Cesaro was on a 13-match winning streak in singles competition. The Swiss Superman's last singles loss before WrestleMania Backlash came on the May 25, 2020 episode of SmackDown. Following his defeat to Shorty G, Cesaro went on an undefeated singles streak and maintained it for almost a year. During this run, he defeated former world champions like Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler, and Seth Rollins. However, his streak came to an end at the hands of Roman Reigns, the reigning Universal Champion. In a recent interview with Louis Dangoor of Give Me Sport, Cesaro commented on his winning streak, nothing that he wasn't aware of until it was brought up by some fans, saying, quote, "I was shocked too. I didn't know. I think I saw it somewhere online and I didn't even realize," end quote. The Money in the Bank pay-per-view is set to take place at Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas on July 18th. The card is almost full, with only a few spots remaining in the Money in the Bank ladder matches. So far, Ricochet, John Morrison, Riddle, Drew McIntyre, Big E, and Kevin Owens have qualified for the men's Money in the Bank bout. Both of the remaining spots will come from the Blue brand. 2 qualifying matches are set for this week's episode of SmackDown. Baron Corbin will take on Shinsuke Nakamura, and Seth Rollins will battle his rival Cesaro. If the Swiss Superman wins his match with Rollins and subsequently gets the briefcase, he could possibly go after the WWE Championship, as he already tried to take the Universal title from Roman Reigns earlier this year. Former WWE star Killian Dain on why AEW TNT Champion Miro is an ideal opponent for him. Now that former WWE superstar Killian Dain is no longer under contract with the company, he can wage war against a variety of opponents once his 90-day non-compete clause expires in September. One likely opponent is AEW TNT Champion Miro, who has been on a tear recently. Big Damo opened up about potentially facing the former United States Champion Rusev, now known as Miro, and had this to say about facing him at some point outside WWE, saying, quote, "Miro is one of the guys I only wrestled on a house show, and he's such a personality, such a performer. He's just one of those ones that I'd mesh really well with," end quote. Fans may remember Miro as Rusev, the Bulgarian Brute, a powerhouse who initially was booked in an undefeated streak during his WWE run. Many felt that he was underutilized, and even though he got over organically with the Rusev Day gimmick, he never got his due. Fast forward to now, where he's reinvented himself as Miro on the AEW roster and holds one of the top singles prizes in the entire company. Damo feels that the AEW roster is so jam-packed that there are a variety of opponents that he could face. In the same interview, he also mentioned Kenny Omega as a viable opponent. The Irishman was very candid during the chat about the fact that he is a foreigner living in the United States, and after his WWE release, things may be a little difficult for him. We wish him all the best and hope that he is in the AEW ring facing Miro someday. Thanks for watching today's Sportskeeda Wrestling News Roundup. For more news stories and exclusive content, be sure to follow us on all social media. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Download the Sportskeeda app for the most up-to-date stories in the world of wrestling.